Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video we're going to be doing some more account reviews. So we've had a few more since my last one a few days ago come out here. And so we're going to just start going right through them. We're going to start off where we last left off on them, since there hasn't been too many. So I'm not too far behind, at least on the newest ones. I've not been able to cover all of them. But we'll see if I can get through what we have out here right now, and maybe I can actually keep up with them at this point, since they're not coming in as quickly. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and get right into it to see what people have in terms of taking a look at their count, and what their approach might be going into the future regarding polls and how it's going. So we got here pace/late main feedback on what to do. I'm looking for recommendation on what to go after or changes I should make to my plan. Depending on how Light Hello Agnes Tachyon goes will really change my plan. And that's a big thing on a lot of these discussions we have on what to pull and not pull. I mean, we've got some people out here, and there's a couple in here that are doing it, that are planning like all the way through to the current day JP, and it's really impossible to that point. I have my own pull plan, and now I plan it out to the extremes. Like, these are all my cars that I absolutely want to do, and what's my worst case scenario, which is basically having to max pity every single Uma. But just know that, I mean, you may be that person that gets stupidly lucky and you get Agnes Tachyon speed MLB in like 200 pulls, or Light Hello, and then you can maybe potentially permabar the other one, or whatever the situation might be, or how it might work out. And that could change the way you approach things. I mean, that's already kind of happened to me for a little bit, where I got like 3 or 4 Umas in a row in like 30 pulls. And every time I kept getting them early, I just kept being able to add another Uma that I might target, primarily for parenting reasons. And so that could be the same thing. So yeah, that's big there. I'm free to play right now. I want to stay competitive. So far on my account, I tend to off banner a lot, which can mess you up sometimes, or not have the limit break I should have right now. Okay, so you're just getting stuff off banner. That's fine. One of the things that'll be kind of key, well, you're not willing to spend, but one of the things that you still could take advantage of off banners is you will, every single anniversary and half anniversary, starting with the second anniversary, will come, well, actually the next one, you'll always get a free selector for a support card, and those could be potential uses for the off banners. Now, as we get farther into the game, the off banners are less and less likely to start compiling and giving a bunch of dupes on the same card, because that pool's getting larger and larger. So by the time we catch up to JP, don't be thinking you're going to just luck into like 3 or 4 copies of any newer support cards. You're just going to get random crap. You'll still get random crap that's come out early for us, let alone stuff that came out in JP. So that'll be less of a thing in the future. But that's one thing that can be potentials for your rainbow crystals as well, if you luck yourself into like 1 or 2 copies and then the rainbow crystals MLBing it. I like running pace because the Ogre, however, since Cafe came out, I'm not interested in late 2. Despite how hard it is to make Cafe work, I still want to do it. I mean, Cafe can work. She's really hard now in Track Blazer because of her things, but you can make her work a lot easier once we get into like Grand Live, because you're not going to have to worry about doing all these mile races. Okay, and then let's see. You're just looking at a recommendation on your poll plan, kind of looking at your Umas. Smart Falcon's nice. You don't show really everything above them. I mean, you got Maduzensky. I don't see Taiki Shuttle. I'm wondering if you're farming her on the Legend races. Christmas Ogre Cap. Oh, here's more Umas. Summer Maduzensky. Oh, there's Titan. Never, you got Taiki Shuttle. I mean, you're sitting on a lot of the big Umas. You got Mihono Bourbon. So let's see. Support card wise, Ida-san Black. Gosho Shinko Windy. Yeah, so Agnes Tachyon speed is going to be huge for you. That'll get you your second big speed card. Power cards don't really matter going into Grand Live. Let's see. Stamina. Ooh, you're hurting the most on stamina, so I'm gonna guess you probably have it planned. Fine motion, limit break 3. Okay. So you may, depending... Man, you did an MLB? I mean, you're not really running fronts. You kind of... Not too bad there. Okay. Must have had some bad luck on some banners. Let's see the plans. So, okay, so you got 600 on the Agnes Tachyon Light Hello banner. As a free-to-play, this one, and this is, I'm going to be making a video on this, probably be my next video. Realistically, it's dependent on how the first 200 pulls go. I reacted to someone talking about why 400 pulls is a bad idea, and I think planning for 400 pulls, meaning you fully intend to do 400 regardless, is not a good idea for this banner. 400 pulls is a possible option, and even 600. But you want to see how the pulls before that go. So if you have 600 ready to go, which it looks like you will, you just do your first 200 pulls. How badly were those? Like, if you get like nothing in those first 200 pulls, one potential thing you could do is you're hopefully, I mean, you're gonna have your Light Hello for Grand Live, and then you perma borrow Agnes Tachyon Speed, and what that does is it saves you 400 pulls that you can now use on these two banners to actually flesh out your account a little bit better. Grand Live is gonna suck, but that's what happens when you have bad luck, because the worst thing you want to happen is do 400 or even 600 pulls and walk away with, which worst case scenario would probably be a Limit Break 2 Light Hello if you get 0 copies of both of them in those 600 pulls. Very unlikely, but it is likely that you might not get any copies of Agnes Tachyon Speed, which then makes you stuck with worst case there being Limit Break 2 Agnes Tachyon. So, and I'm guessing that's the way you have it, since you have 200 planned into these. That, depending on this, you might change it up. So, yeah, with your deck, because you're basically needing another big speed card, since you only have Kitas black. And Summer Mario Zensky, you need less dupes to make work, so if you can walk away with this one with at least Light Hello, you can pull on this one, hopefully top off your Fine Motion, and then get your at least Limit Break 1 Summer Mario Zensky, get in here, get your Super Creek, potentially Mr. CB is another wit card you can use while waiting all the way until Major Romanu. And so you can save those there. The Taco Helios is a good pickup. And she does, I've seen that she can run as pace. That works. These are both good movements from what I've seen. Nothing like meta defining, but they are good. Now, Silent Suzuka is more of still a front runner, a runaway, while Agnes Tachyon still kind of fits her position. And then you have El Condropazos. I think your pull plan's pretty good there. What do you have up here? Class 5, Club Rank C, Champions Meeting Champion. Wait, is Champion... That's saying you win, right? Gold 4. League of Heroes, you can plan for Plat 4. If you play competitive, you can probably plan for Plat 4. I would put at least Plat 1. It's super easy if you're actually playing consistently. But other than that, oh, and also don't do 100 pulls. If you don't have 200 pulls for the Uma, don't do it. It's just not worth it. You could end up not getting her here, and you would have been better off doing 200 on one or the other and guaranteeing one. And if you get lucky and get them very early, then now, like if you have 200 saved for her, which it says you do, you get lucky, that might open up the option to do 200 here. It just kind of depends on the pulls goal. Overall, I think your plan's not terrible. Oh, you missed the guts card there. Yeah, nothing special there. Overall, I think your plan's pretty fine. But man, looking at it from a free-to-play perspective, it is definitely pretty scary going through this. Looks like you still have your rainbow crystals, though. You can kind of use those. So if you do go 600 hard on the Agnes Tachyon, you could top her off. It just kind of depends if you want to wait for Fine Motion Summer Maruzenski or not. And so, yeah, not too bad there. Alright, let's just go ahead and take a look at the next one here. Parenting cards. Got my poll plan and other things ready in the works. Not necessarily asking about that. I'm curious about adding more ideas. Then more specifically, what would potentially pull that would make my deck stronger for parenting and Mant and behind. Play all styles. I wail, but on the low end of that, I usually struggle a bit to hit SS. So you're probably in the same situation as me. Lead 2 to 3 power when parenting. So the big ones I'm looking at, Kawakami Princess for center stage. This is from a front runner perspective. Center stage. But then you have like the big 3 that work on everybody, or 4. You have Playtime's Over, Tail Held High, Ramp Up, Slipstream. Those ones can all be gotten. So Nice Nature Power, which comes out in Grandmasters, I've talked about that card a lot, gives Tail Held High, Nimble Navigator, and Slipstream. Really good for your backliners. On that one, Tail Held High just generically good. You got Daitako Helios with Slipstream and Tail Held High, although to me she's a skip and wait for Nice Nature Power. Of course, Light Hello. You're gonna pull and get Light Hello. She's got gold Playtimes Over. Muteki, depending on your deck. Yeah, you have one copy of her. She's It's On / Ramp Up. And so that kind of covers pretty much all the big ones there. You have Summer Maruzenski for frontrunners for Gold Leader's Pride. If you're pulling on the Summer Maruzenski banner, that one's a good one just because of Summer Maruzenski. But Nakayama Festa has Risky Business. That's a nice white that I eventually want to get built into my parents for the simple fact that no meta cards in the future really have it. So you're not going to be able to just get it off of meta cards, and so getting it off Spark will be very important. It is a decent speed increase with the sacrifice of some stamina for it, which is definitely worth it, especially as you get better cards in the future and can handle some of those cards that drain stamina for speed. Oh, and then you kind of mentioned here, yeah, you will pull on Maruzenski to MLB. Did you already mention? Okay, so you're kind of on top. You've probably watched me enough to kind of understand what I'm going at here. All right, we'll go to the next one here. I want to push through the rest of these. Okay, poll plan thoughts, Pacemain. I was wondering if my poll plan was good enough, or is there a card I should pull on, and if maybe I should pull more or less carrots on a banner. Let's see. You don't say if you're a spender or not, so let's get an idea here. Looking at your poll plan, it looks like you're probably a spender. So, skipping Summer Maruzenski, Agnes Tachyon, Light Hello. You're skipping everything in Grand Live, it looks like. So, okay, then... Oh, this is the Ballroom. I do think Ballroom... I've seen Chiono Ballroom on some of the... it's an inherit on some of the, I think, League of Heroes, so she's a potential. I have to see her. I don't know if enough there. But if she is, I think her inherit is good, so not terrible. Going all the way to Condorpasa, McQueen. So you just got like the main big ones. Cheval Grand, really good. The summer version of her, really good as well. Being a pace chaser that basically has Encroaching Shadow for longs. Pal card. North Flight's another good meta Uma, built in good golds. Yoshino Flower Power. Okay, so you're basically just got it planned all the way through all the main priority cards. Pedro Arden, Simply Rudolph. Ooh, I didn't even realize these are these cards are get together. This one a very niche card, but I've seen it as a whale card for some Champions Meeting / League of Hero decks. But yeah, the rest of these, oh, there's, yeah, you got Summer Shovel Grand on here. And then all the Pelennor. So you've basically got it planned out for all the main big ones. And looking at the polls you're having on here, you look to be a whale. I think... So this is... You're just kind of skipping a lot. The only thing. Like, you don't give enough, too much of your details. This one. This is kind of unrelated to pace, but I was thinking at least getting one. Oh, so you focused on pace? Did you say that? Oh, pace main. I didn't see that in the title. Okay. Man, I'm kind of blind there. Yeah, with pace, this card, KS Miracle, is a pretty decent one. I'm seeing it. If you use, you're using the carrot calculator. If you go to the CMs and League of Heroes guides that they've added in there and kind of recommendations, you do see KS Miracle used quite a bit. And so she's a good pickup for that. And you, like this person saying, you do have a lot of carrots. You're kind of floating through it while still being able to do a crap ton on the big banners. So this is one you might want to look at, because it is our last time we see neck and neck, which is gold. It's a golden version of Head On, and that does get buffed to activate much earlier. It's still random, but not as random, making it very good for some little bit of consistency in the miles and sprints, especially for League of Heroes, where you're going to need every little thing you can get, especially if you want to go over top 96. I know a lot of people aren't targeting that, but just something to think about if you do care. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Anything glaringly wrong with a front pace main? Mainly, I've just been pulling on any good banners so far, but with League of Heroes coming up, my favorite Umamusume going to become extremely meta with her Valentine's ult, I intend to pull on the extremely strong front card. As a Summer Body Intensity goes, I'm most likely going to buy a Selector for 0 limit break and then Crystal for 1 limit break. Hope that her and Fine Motion Rebound will go well for me, since I've been missing Fine Motion for so long. Since pulling for Ricky, I might select her Valentine's Bourbon quite late in her usefulness. Here's the thing. She's always a good parent, so don't feel like she's dead on arrival. And you don't really need her for aces, but she's going to be very good as a parent. One thing I'll like is just kind of generic grandparents. Mihono Bourbon, Summer Madezensky. You get both of their ults, they work together. And heck, you don't even need Summer Madezensky. You can take Mihono Bourbons by herself, and it's an early race speed increase. And with Ines Fujin, I mean, Summer Madezensky's is a good one, just because of the fact you have a heal built into Ines Fujin as well that will be able to activate Summer Madezensky's inherit. Note the time frame of my pull plan, Rita Brian Blaze plus Kita will come out. I'm not sure if I can fit them in the plan or if they're even worth it. Well, it looks like you're willing to buy selectors. From my understanding, Rita Brian Blaze still pops up on occasion as a meta Uma, even to JP today. I'm guessing has to deal with her evolutions. She is quite strong. I got my dog here kind of wanting to get up and watch here a little bit. Well, can't watch, but she's just kind of trying to figure out what's going on. But Kita-san White, very strong front runner. To me, I'd prioritize her over Rita Brian. But both are good pickups depending on what position you want to go. Kita-san White for mediums and Narita Brian Blaze as a pace for longs. I don't see how I could ever pull for Jungle Pocket Speed, so that's out. Yeah, she's a Jungle Pocket Speed's a bait card. It's not too long before El Condor Pasa Speed, and if you've been playing for a while, you should have already good amount of speed cards. Summer Madezensky, Kita-san Black, Agnes Tachyon Speed, and while she is very good, by no means a must-have, especially as she's more targeted towards the late. Alright, so let's see what your pull plan is. So, Summer Madezensky, no pulls planned because you're going to use the Selector and Crystal. Kopano Ricky, 200. Agnes Tachyon, Light Hello. 400. 400's an awkward amount. I get the idea. My goal, pull 200, see what happens in at 200 pulls. I kind of disagree with the thought that if you get really unlucky on that banner, going all the way to 400, where you can continue to get really unlucky and walk away with like a limit break 1 Light Hello for 400 pulls. It sucks. It's a very tricky banner, and that this one, and one of the main reasons to me is while Agnes Tachyon speed is very good, one of the ways you could go too is, I mean, you could go for just specifically trying to MLB Agnes Tachyon speed and perma-barring Light Hello, or the other way around. But 400 makes it's just very awkward there. So have 400 ready. Just see what happens after 200 before you decide to push to 400. Okay, then Samurai Sensei Fine Motion. So that one, depending on the previous one, you won't have enough, but 400 pulls there. That should... You have Zero Limit Break, Fine Motion. And you'll have Limit Break 1 Samurai Zensky. If I think about that, that's what? 3 pulls you're trying to get off? So 7? Yes, you need to pull 7 cards. 4 Fine Motions. 3 Samurai Zenskys. Plus you have 2 selectors, so if you take it down, 5 pulls. In 400... Well, it's a 50-50. Every SSR, you should on average get 3, so we can say 1.5 or 3 per 200 or 6. So you have a good chance of actually MLBing both of them. So that one's, to me, not too bad. I wouldn't say it's, like, completely... Like, you can get away with lower limit breaks on Samurai Zensky, or, like, limit break 3 and Fine Motion. I think this is actually fine with what you got here. Zeno Rob Roy, it looks like you're willing to skip her, but potential you might want to pick up. After that point, you'll save up to Ines Fujin. Oh, I just realized your daily care packs. No, so you're completely free to play, I would assume then. Or you're not free to play, but you're buying the selectors versus the carrot packs. Which I still feel like the carrot pack is probably the higher priority than the selectors. Just because of how much carrots this gives you over for like $5. Even though I feel like selectors are also very good. And you get Ines Fujin, Major Ramanu. Man, where are all these pulls coming from? I'm guessing you have some paid ones coming in from selectors that are adding on to this. 400's good here. Goddess card. Yes, the banner is that I hate this Goddess banner. I hate this thing. It's so bad. It's such a bad banner. I hope that they just merge Ramanu and Goddess card. Do something. They need to do something about that. For Champions Meetings, it's basically a very good Parma-Borrow card, especially if you've been playing for a while and you have everything, like, at least everything else. Just Parma-Borrow that and deal with it. You'll have to do, I think, 3 CMs and 3 League of Heroes? It's either that or 4 CMs and 2 League of Heroes. League of Heroes is where I feel like you need the card more than the CMs. The CMs, you can get away with Parma-Borrowing that and using the rest of your cards and maybe not having as flexible of a deck. But League of Heroes, if you're especially wanting to try and push high ranks, you need that consistency. So the flexible borrow for like the really strong card for the consistency, whether it's KS Miracle, Aston Machan Wit, McQueen Stamina, or one of those cards, having the Goddess card opens that up for you. Merging them, yes, merging them would be great. It would be a very good PR thing they do that would bring a lot more players back in. But yeah, if you want to get Mihono Bourbon Wit, you gotta skip her, especially if you're not spending a lot. Jungle Pocket, yeah, easy skip. Save for El Condor Pasa. You should be able to hopefully pull her off. I mean, because this is the thing, you should get lucky somewhere in here. And that getting lucky will save you some pulls and top you up to the 600. This one is absolutely worth 600. It's like Kita-san Black, MLB El Condor Pasa, ASAP. And then you have Sounds of Earth. Very skippable, especially if you have Super Creek. Unless, of course, you're crazy like me and want to try and get top 96 in League of Heroes. But if you're wanting that, you're going to need to spend money, most likely. Unless you're very lucky. Kita-san Black, Super Creek, MLB. got some of the big ones in here. Oh, you don't have. Oh yeah, you don't have Mihono Bourbon Valentines. So you have a lot of the main excels. I don't see Maruzensky. Yeah, Maruzensky might be the one. It's going to be the one you're going to want to start farming as soon as she's available as a Legend Daily Legend race. Will be very important for the first League of Heroes because that one's Tokyo 2400. Is Earth? If you didn't have Super Creek, if you don't have Super Creek by the time, if you don't like have your main stamina card by the time Sons of Earth drops, I would pick her up. The thing is, her value will drop. Like her value goes completely away. Like her and Super Creek are immediately dumpstered as soon as Air Shakir drops. You're gonna want to throw a lot of pulls at her. She's a significantly better stamina card. Sounds of Earth, not that much better. One of the things that she has going on for her is she gives one SP, so she has 1 skill point built into her kit. 2 is when you need a stamina card but don't need a stamina heal, she has Beeline Burst. So you can kind of think like she's kind of a combination of Super Creek and Narita Bryan's stamina. She has both of those skills in her kit, so she's flexible in that right. I believe she still has about the same training effectiveness and friendship, higher special priority possibly. But by no means a must-have. Like if you need a heal, Super Creek Swinging Maestro is still good. You're just gonna have to high roll a little bit more on Super Creek for the stats. And so, very easy one to save on. Okay. That one's done. Alright, we got one more to go here. Okay. 35 minutes ago. Man, they're lucky. They go right into putting this out here and getting it reviewed. Okay, so 80,000 carats. Light spender monthly pack and $20 selectors. Maybe $70 selector here or there if you're desperate. I mean, it's the best value you're ever going to get in this game, as bad as it sounds, because you're getting the carats, the equivalent of buying $70 in carats, but then you're getting a bonus selector on an SSR support card. And if you get both of them, that basically gives you 3 of them every half anniversary. Which means you can basically MLB random things you get lucky on and off banner. Just with those, or at least get them the limit break 3. Not committed to any single strategy. The reason being, despite wanting to be competitive, I want to win the characters I like, having cake and eating too, perhaps. So an Oshi gamer, alright. So support card's very important. Planning on maining fronts and ends in Grand Live, and maining lates and ends in Grand Masters as perma-borrowing the Goddess card, I'm guessing is that means. Complicates for... Oh, wait. A and G. Is that angling and scheming? I'm thinking that's what you mean, right? I don't know. That might be a typo, or is that supposed to be Goddess card? Let me just kind of see. Parents currently trying to cycle Brian, Fuji, and Ogre as parents, grandparents for general skills. Fuji, great for that. Ogre, not as good for fronts, and Brian as well, but Fuji's the best. We must stand till there, ramp up greens. We'll start making front parents when I get Sayun from daily Regin races. Alright. Okay, so it is Sayun Sky. You're perma-borrowing, angling, and scheming. Uma's pulling selected ticket Umas that are personal must-haves or daily paid and meta-relevant nice-to-haves. Lightbird's video on... that are personal must... Okay, they're Oshi picks, I gotcha. And daily paid pulling on meta-relevant nice-to-haves. Okay. Supports. Somrazinski doesn't fit the budget, and it seems like an obvious borrow for me. May daily pull. That'll be a little tricky, I will say that, but I'll see what you have here. May daily pull or selector / crystal. Mr. CB and Creek, extra copies, Emily Creek. Or Manu, plan 200, go to 400 if unlucky to avoid excessive crystal use. Cafe Wit, heard it it does have good longevity, and it's a very good card in general. For late searchers, but it also has cooldown, which for longs will be a good skill, but it completely falls. It's only good. The only one that I've really seen that it's very important on is a League of Heroes, the 3200 Tenno Show Spring. Primarily the reason being, League of Heroes, you cannot glass cannon it in the sense that if you fail a stamina check, you die. You do not want that to happen in League of Heroes, so you're going to follow some of the old advice that people had given where you are over-stamming, because you don't really need to over-stam in a CM. If you're just unlucky, you're unlucky. League of Heroes, you need that consistency, you need the extra heal, and that's what Manhattan Cafe brings. But it makes it a potential borrow still, depending on the rest of the cards you have. Or, I mean, you have other ways you can approach it too. You have Super Creek that you can pair with anything that has Breath of Fresh Air. So you have Swinging Maestro, Breath of Fresh Air as 2 of your heals, plus another one from any other source. So we have Light Hello, Agnes Tachyon. Alright, 600 there, going all in on that. Hopefully you MLB Agnes Tachyon speed, especially skipping Summer Monizensky. Okay, I'm guessing this is a personal one here. Acid Machan, really good pickup for the sprints, good inherit. Super Creek, guessing that should try and top her off. What's your Super Creek look like? Oh, yeah, you don't have her. And that'll hopefully be able to finish off Mr. CB. That gives you 2 Wit cards. Major Romanu, 200, but you're showing that half 400. Sakura Laurel, really good. Neo Universe. Manhattan Cafe. So it shows you having a lot of pulls in here. And a lot left over. Neo Universe, good pickup too. It was here. Looks like you're missing... Yeah, you're missing Seiyun Sky and... I don't see Maruzensky. Those are 2 you're going to want to pick up, but you can get over time. I think you should be able to get both of them in time for the Tokyo 2400 CM. You're also missing Ogre Cat. Well, you got Christmas. Christmas will be a very good lifesaver for you on some of these ones that you can just make work without having to worry too much. Yeah, I think your deck plan's pretty good here. I mean, you're saying you're flexible. Going into Grandmasters with late/ends, fronts ends focused in Grand Live. I'm guessing you don't have Mihono Bourbon Wit, do you? Oh no, you do. Okay, you have Mihono, not Wit, but Mihono Bourbon here for easy access to frontrunners. And of course you have all the others. You actually have... Oh, and you also have Mihono... Okay, so you're good. Yeah. Mihono Bourbon Wit, very, very good for frontrunners in Grand Live. So yeah, I think your plan looks pretty good, and it looks like you do create some flexibility in here based on the max pulls you'll have. I mean, Valentine's Ines Fujin, probably the only one I'd kind of say in there is a really good pickup. It's kind of the Mihono Bourbon replacement, but if you don't plan to really push frontrunners after a certain point here, just know that frontrunners are kind of your big meta for League of Heroes, but by no means needed unless you're really pushing for that top 96. You should be able to get Plat 4 even if you don't go full all in on frontrunners. Alright. Forgot to mention and yeah. And you also have the crystals to top you up as you get bad luck in some of these banners. But that looks to be it for these ones. Made it through, all caught up on those. So yeah, just keep going ahead and posting them. I'll try and do them. I mean, it's kind of working out, doing them a couple more times a week. I am looking at the idea of, because I do have a Patreon, but I haven't got it all set up yet. But setting that up for anybody that wants like a more in-depth, maybe join the stream and talk about and go through a full-on review / even some coaching type thing like we've seen with the others. I don't know on a price yet on that, but it seems like the default I've seen a lot of people put would be $30. So I might look into doing that as well for those that really want a more in-depth look versus just my generic ones that I do here on stream. But you can let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, because I would have to get it all set up to do that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. And if you like my content, if you like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.